Hey, it's still Sunday. I'm still working on this. Probably put this on tomorrow's video. I've been putting two on every couple of days. Well, last couple of days been two at a time. Too much stuff going on. There's some spots out here that are really soft. I just went through one back there where my last set of tracks were about 3 inches deep. It's like, really? This is cutting plenty low. A lot of it's like it's skimming it. All I can figure is it's because I'm sinking that little bit. Bad thing about that mower, it has shoes under it, but they're not adjustable. You can buy another set of shoes that cuts like 4 inches higher. Well, that's too high. And if you see, it looks like there's black coming off of that right through here. That's because there's smut in this. I don't know if you can see on any of the heads. Every now and then you see one that looks like it's black. It's because it's got smut on it. And I don't know what happened. About 4 passes over, 5 passes over. Pulled down, loaded up, took off, and I came back around. There was a spot that didn't look like it got cut. But between the gophers and the moles and humps out here, this is some dirty hay. You can see part of that kind of dry stuff there. Some of the higher mole hills were dry. I've watched a lot of really wet stuff come off the back. And it just looks like it's skimming, but you know, I got it up as high as I can go. All you can do is rock the head forward or back. It just rocked all the way back because I didn't want to get out into all that stuff. One advantage where we run a tedder rake, that'll beat a lot of the dirt out of it. It ain't going to get all of it, but it'll beat most of it out. And I think I said in my video earlier, we're going to probably run the tedder rake through this and get it moved over on the dry ground tomorrow, drier ground. Maybe we'll get the ground dry in the next couple of days, and maybe we can get the hay dry. And, then I plan on coming out with the tedder and scattering it and beat it up and beat some more dirt out of it. Probably do that a few times if we're going to get it dry down quick enough. You can kind of see over here the difference between where I stopped for lunch. Other stuff actually in that other field from here, it looks like it's dry enough to bale on top. I know it's not though. But anyway, right in here is a bit soft. And she's been pulling down pretty good right here too. And I'm only going 5.5 miles an hour. I'm usually 2 gears higher than this. So this is kind of crazy this year. I know my knives are getting wore, but they're not that bad. They don't seem to bother until they get wore too much and you start skipping. And I can tell where the edge of the cuts are, but it's cutting me. Except for when it gets a big chunk of mud in front of them, which I just saw a spot back there was cut a little long because it had mud built up between. But not much I can do about it other than run it. I kind of figure these knives we finished up last year. We turned them over and finished up. They weren't new when I started. But they're going to work. I got out here after lunch and got going, and the kids took those couple of cows in for hamburger, and they got there to unload, and I get a phone call. It says, the cord is no longer in the trailer. Well, apparently, all I can think is when it got hooked up, it didn't get enough slack left, or it was too much slack, and it caught on the corner of the truck bed, tore it out of the trailer box. So I told him, well, get your mother to go in and follow you home. So I got to deal with that later. If I get done with this early enough, I might do that so we can get that trailer put away and get back into some smut again. Might be a little more up here. I can see it on some of the heads. I don't know. It happens. I don't know what you can do about it on grass like this. I mean, you got to know you're going to have it before you do anything. If you're planting oats, you plant treated seed if you got a smut problem. We haven't had a problem with smut in the oats in years. Haven't planted treated seed in probably 10 years. So, anyway, wanted to show you that. Tell you I got some trailer wiring to fix. BCP Trucking and Farming. I just watched his video today. He put up. He was doing a little trailer wiring too. I just hope it didn't tear the box up. Hopefully it just tore the wires out, put new ends on and be done. But I'll find out later. More fun. One more thing to do. All right, everybody. Have a good one. Take 3 for Monday morning, June 22nd. And those two little buggers this morning were outside by the gate. Grampy had her nose in the corner to the right, looking to the other pen, and Bottle Boy was looking the other direction. They were butt to butt. Both of them, a little gloom, as their mommies are no longer over here. They went in yesterday. I got a phone call when they got in there. Dad, we got a problem. Somewhere along the line, they tore the light cord to the trailer out of the box on the trailer. I think they did it when they got in there and was getting turned around. Either it wasn't laying right or it was still hung up on the hanger. I don't know. When it was hooked up just to get the trailer out of the way when we were doing scrap. And, you know, stuff happens. Quickie on this thing. Just ordered the cab kit and the headliner last night. Luckily the floor mat cleaned up good enough. I'm not going to complain about it. Especially when, you know, a floor mat's another probably $200 or $300 to get the right one. Roof, it's really nowhere there yet. There is a foam pad that goes underneath that roof, a sound dampening pad, and it also pretty much seals the dirt out, I think. I did find a piece of it up there about half the size of my thumb. Yay. I'm kind of wondering about using a piece of stall matting or something. Well, it'll work. Kind of heavy, but you know, if I can do something to support it across the top of where it would meet the headliner, then there's no weight pushing down. And I think that's probably a design flaw anyway, because the top of this headliner has been busted up from something on top of it by the looks of it. That's kind of what I'm thinking now anyway. And no, she hasn't calved yet. If the vet's right, she's got, what, 7 or 8 days. I'm thinking we find 2 posts that are kind of close together and put a halter on her and hook it to a tractor and pop her like a zit. Get it over with. Let me see. C.E. Smith left me a comment asking me what the differences were between the New Holland H7230 and his New Holland 1411. I think for the most part, I mean, of course, you know, you guarantee they had to change all the parts, but I think they're pretty much identical machines. The biggest difference from what I understand is the hubs between the gearbox and the turtles. Excuse me, on 1411 are a full splined hub. There's like 20 splines, 21 splines, somewhere in there. I don't remember. And I'm not sure if they'll interchange. I did have somebody tell me once that they did it. I don't know. The hubs on the H7230 only have 5 splines in them, so that if you hit something with the turtle, the spline in the hub shears and you don't bust up the gearbox. All you got to do is pull the turtle, pull the hub, put a new hub in, put it back together and go. And it does work, trust me. The old man hit something once, and then the hired man hit something once, and still not sure. I mean, the old man, there was some damage. We ended up changing a gearbox, but somehow the drain plug came out of that gearbox too, so, you know, that one's still a mystery. A different hired man changed the oil in the gearboxes, and, you know, being a smart guy, he says, hey, I think I got everything done. Go through and check. I went through and checked everything. I went through with a wrench, and I made sure all those plugs were tight, because God knows the last thing you want is one of those to leak, because you'll never know it. He beat himself up about that one, and it's like, no, John, you didn't. You know, I went through and checked it. It was tight. We still don't know what happened there. We got like 20 hours on the thing after changing the oil before that happened, and we shouldn't have got that much. And the other hired man, I don't remember what he hit, but what he hit was the parts bill was $2,500. But luckily, it was mostly those splined hubs. So, CE, I hope that answers your question a little better than what I did in the reply. And then we'll skip to this thing. Jeff Gross has a 895, which is very similar. Just basically, I think 84 was the last year of the 895s, and 85 was the first year of the 936. He was telling me that he needs a brake master cylinder, and it's the same one that was on here. And I don't have that one down here. It's got a stamped tin lid that screws on, and it's a round reservoir. 1-inch bore, appears to be 3.5-inch stroke. Cannot find it through Napa, through all their catalogs. We can find similar ones, but they're shorter stroke. The other master cylinder they used in these is, I first thought it was General Motors, like the Chevy pickups had in the mid-70s. I was wrong, because the reservoir sizes. GM used a small reservoir closest to the pedal, and the large reservoir at the front end of the master. And the one they show in the book is the opposite. So, well, okay, what the heck? Looking for stuff. I mean, I've spent, I don't know how many hours online looking for parts. I think I've identified what master cylinder it actually is. It appears to be the master cylinder out of a 77 through 86 Ford F-150. So, oh yeah, and the round one that's in here looks a lot like the same one that Ford used in the early Broncos in the 60s, and Studebaker used it in their pickups. So we'll just figure they used Ford parts. I'm going to go in today and see if I can't get a master cylinder for this, and go from there. As of last night, the wonders of online shopping. Jeff Raymond, I did use that outfit that you mentioned. I already had the links to the lower kit and the headliner saved in my phone when you'd mentioned that, because they kind of looked like the better deal anyway, and their descriptions were a lot better than the other outfits. So they've been ordered. My wife pretty much about made a mess in her pants when she saw the shipping price on it. I think it's $170 to ship that. And I said, well, look at the size boxes. You got a 4-foot by 5-foot by, well, at least 8-inch thick box for the headliner. And most cab kits come in that size box anyway, so there's 2 of those. I may have found cables. Found some on Amazon that were way too short, but looked like they had the right ends. So I did a little searching from there, and I think I got them, but we got to get a cable out and measure it. And the nice thing is the ones I found actually have technical drawings in the pictures with measurements on them. I wish everybody do that. So hopefully today, if it works out right, I'll have identified the cables for sure and be able to get those ordered. They're going to be damn near $100 a piece. But, you know, got to have them or it don't work. And hopefully, instead of $355 for a master cylinder, it'll be about $35 for a master cylinder. The wonders of parts sourcing. And God, you know, Napa and New Holland, they both get that part from the same vendor. Well, actually, New Holland's probably getting it from Bueller, but Bueller's still getting it from the same vendor. Other than that, I think as soon as we get this thing cleaned up, I think it's ready to go back together. Get that part done, get it functional. I haven't heard back on my dash parts yet. South Saskatchewan farmer was going to see if he could find me a roof. And I got my doubts, Nick. I'm sorry, but I really do if you're going to find a decent one. Because, you know, what I found so far, hey, let's see, we don't want to ship it because of the condition it's in, but you can come buy it for $900 and take it with you. Well, I can't cross the border. And I've found absolutely nothing in the States so far. And there's a pad that goes underneath it that, yeah, I think we're going to improvise. I'm thinking a piece of horse stall matting or something will probably work just fine for that. They even got some, I can go into town. One of the farm stores has stuff on rolls that's thinner instead of getting the really heavy stuff. It's thinner and a little bit lighter, and, you know, it'll deaden some sound. That's what it says it's for. And it'll keep stuff from getting in up there, because really, the way it sits, if you just put a top on there, dust and stuff's still going to fill the cab. So, that's what I know. Hope that answered some questions. Oh, another quickie. I don't think I'd mentioned this before. This thing has a decelerator pedal in it. I've run lots of equipment with decelerators. And I got to looking the other day when I flipped the pedal up and looked underneath it. The pedal does a switch. Right there, that solenoid. That's the decelerator. So, I thought that was interesting. Because most decelerators, it's like running a throttle on your car. You know, the more you push, the more difference you make. I think this one's just set up for when you're shifting. You hit it, it cuts down so you can shift, and you let back up and you're going again. That's, I'm assuming. I haven't read the operator's manual yet. Becky literally just finished getting all that. She printed it all and then laminated every page. And number 2 has, I'm going to guess, 1,000 pages. She still has to get in books. The tech manual is done and in a binder. The parts manual and the operator's manual haven't, they need holes punched in them and get put in binders yet. So that's where we're at on that. And I guess that's about it for now. Say this is still, you know, a project to work on when we got a chance. I just wish, you know, chances were better. Don't really like working on it in here, but I can't get it in the shop. Not with the shop half full. It'll fit if I empty the shop. Length's actually about right too. You just be able to walk around it. Width ain't bad. We've got a wide enough shop, 20-foot door. It's more or less 20 foot wide all the way through. So, and this is 13. I have not found a tire yet. I do need at least one used tire. That inside dual right there. She's got a big rip in her. Oh, stay away from antlers. We did, when we were cleaning the cab up, a chunk of the antler that went through that tire was laying in the cab. I don't know what number 1 did with it. I think she threw it away. I should have polished that up and hung it from the air vents or something. Anyway, this is more than long enough. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you have not. And, oh, another quickie. Notifications is once again screwed up on my end. Most of the comments I've replied to in the last 3 or 4 days I have not been notified about it all. I've come across them while I was answering other comments. So if I missed you, I'm sorry. I try to get to everybody. And yeah, that's all I can do is try. So thanks for watching.